Okay, so my name is Dennis Irwin. I'm the Unified Communications Practice Manager at Nortec, and I'm going to talk to you guys today a little bit about the ShoreTel IP phone system and a couple of reasons of why it's a good fit for auto dealerships. So, um, with that said, we just had a couple other guests join, so let me go ahead and just kind of start over here real quick. My name is Dennis Irwin with Nortec Communications, and I'm going to be talking to you guys today about the ShoreTel Unified Communications System and how it's a good fit for auto dealerships and basically any other company as far as that goes as well. Um, this webinar is being recorded, so you can view it later, or allow somebody else in your company to view it later if you need to. So, with that said, ShoreTel has made business communications brilliantly simple by bringing together the phone system with unified communications, contact center capabilities, all into one easy to deploy, manage, scalable, and easy to use solution. The ShoreTel solution was built from the ground up for the IP age, an approach that no other business communications vendor can claim. So with ShoreTel, you can leverage the power of pure IP communications, arming your organization with a brilliantly simple unified communications suite to drive collaboration and productivity. Through a single intuitive client, end users take control of their communications method, whether it be voice, video, or instant messaging, regardless of their location. They could be at office, at home, or Starbucks. The definition of the office is no longer four walls, a desk, and a telephone. Especially in companies like auto dealerships where you have lots and service areas and stuff like that. Time and place is almost irrelevant now. Workforces are demanding total versatility to work smarter, where they want and when they want to on any device they choose. So, the benefits of seamless communication and collaboration to the business are game changing. Not only are end users unconstrained and free to communicate and collaborate fluidly, whether inside or outside of their organizations, roaming throughout your dealerships on Wi-Fi. If you don't have coverage, being able to switch over to cellular. If you have multiple dealerships, being able to work from whichever dealership you may be in um, is uh, is a great way to help align your business processes and make life easier, like it should be. So, as I said, ShoreTel is brilliantly simple IP communications, you know, but the not everyone looks at the world the same way. There's the old way where platforms are proprietary, restrictions are great, and possibilities and complexity is just part of, the deal that you get, right? So then there's the new way of looking at the world, which is the our way, right? And so basically, ShoreTel, it had a very unique journey in getting to where they're at. They looked at the world of communication with a fresh set of eyes. In 1996, ShoreTel's founders got together and they knew they had the opportunity to do things differently than the other phone manufacturers. And so basically they said, what if voice was just another app that could run on the data network? What would that look like? So ShoreTel, with a clean slate of paper and no legacy system as their starting point, built a native IP solution from the ground up, and that enabled them to be able to have the best architecture, which we'll get into a little bit later. But 15 years later, the ShoreTel solution is now available in over 46 countries. And ShoreTel customers are raving fans. They're constantly giving ShoreTel the highest satisfaction ratings in the industry. Auto dealerships are ShoreTel has a lot of auto dealerships. There's a lot of case studies and stuff that we can send to you. We also at Nortec have installed and sold a lot of auto dealerships ShoreTel. The mobility, the ability to move around and work and make your customers happy is really what it seems to boil down to, right? So with that, ShoreTel is even though they designed complexity out, uh, just because it's simple and intuitive to use, it doesn't mean that it's not powerful. And just because it's powerful doesn't mean that it's hard to use, right? So power and simplicity have been optimized together to basically give you the best of both worlds. So with that said, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about the ease of use in ShoreTel and how it kind of fits together. With ShoreTel, it's very easy to deploy. You can be up and running in no time. I know that a lot of car dealerships are constantly, evolving, building new locations, updating their locations, all that kind of stuff. It's very easy with ShoreTel to move your phone system, set up a new location, do all that kind of stuff, right? So ShoreTel is very easy to use. Users are, taking the unified communications capabilities so easily that they soon become basically second nature. Just your device just goes with you, and you are who you are with your device, right? Um, and as for management, many of ShoreTel's customers are able to offload their, phone system workload to their help desk and allow their IT departments to be able to focus elsewhere. Um, Integration. ShoreTel integrates seamlessly into it in many different business applications, including, car dealerships, point of sale, and all those different things using the enterprise contact center. And it's very scalable. So it's architected and designed in a way that makes it function almost like Lego blocks to build your phone system or grow your dealership, or add in a new dealership if you happen to be building a new dealership. Is very simple. It's just modular, and you build it like Lego blocks. And then, teamwork, collaboration is intuitive, and it gives businesses such a choice in methods that even travel can be cut from the bottom line. So if you're a dealership that has multiple dealers, you're able to collaborate with your other dealers and not have to travel back and forth. We have a very large auto dealership client at Nortec that uses the enterprise contact center in ShoreTel in order to share resources between their dealerships, which are very spread out. They currently have 20 dealerships running the ShoreTel phone system. All those dealerships can share, resources in sales, resources in accounting, resources in the service department for questions on, helping with fixing cars, all that kind of stuff, and it works really well. And then finally, ShoreTel inspires, right? So it inspires users because of its intuitive native interface and ability to run on multiple devices, which we'll show and talk to a little bit later. So basically, what is ShoreTel? It has three winning tenets, right? The three winning tenets are that it has a unique and superior architecture. It has the lowest total cost of ownership, and it has the highest rate of customer satisfaction in the industry. And I will actually talk to those a little bit more in the next couple slides in each one of those ShoreTel tenets. And the first one is its unique and superior architecture. ShoreTel's architecture is like no other architecture in the industry. It's open, distributed, and inherently redundant. And it's one of the core reasons why we can deliver on a brilliantly simple promise. If from this webinar you decide to have a on-site demonstration, we will get very deep into the architecture and show you how everything works. So it's also very, like I said, modular scalability for easy growth for any business. Using the ShoreTel voice switch appliances and single image distributed architecture, you can scale quickly and easily. There's no forklift upgrades or rip and replace. You can just, keep adding switches and growing your dealerships and your network. Very nice. So the second one is that ShoreTel does have the lowest total cost of ownership, which really comes into play in the automotive industry. From what I've seen, a lot of automotive dealerships, their money doesn't really, they don't want to put their money into their phone system. They want to put their money into something that's going to help them be more productive and gain more sales. Well, with ShoreTel having the lowest total cost of ownership, you're able to have a much lower investment, but not lose out on any of the features and benefits by having a lower investment. ShoreTel's philosophy is that they give you pretty much everything out of the box, and we can show you that as we go into a demo. So, who says that ShoreTel's, total cost of ownership is the lowest? Pretty much everybody that does industry research says that, and you can, Google it or check it however you would like to. We can send you some reports if you request it from a salesperson. But this particular information here is gathered by a couple of different research facilities, third party, non-commissioned by ShoreTel, like Aberdeen, Nemerides, and people like that. So as you can see here, with a 10-year total cost of ownership and a 2,000 user phone system across 3 sites, this basically shows you how much money the phone systems cost per vendor. And as you can see, ShoreTel is widely on the lower mark compared to everybody else, and pretty much in every category except for long distance charges are pretty even across the board. But one thing that you'll notice from this particular slide is where ShoreTel really crushes the competition is if you look at the orange color, and that's systems management, moves, adds, changes, and downtime. And that's where ShoreTel really shines because of its distributed architecture. So that's why they say they have the lowest total cost of ownership. So with that said, it's not just about savings, it's about gains, right? So it's more than just a savings. By deploying an IP phone system that was designed, right from the start for your users, your administrators, and your business, and overall can benefit from the dynamic collaboration tools, that are intuitive, seamless, and useful in the ShoreTel phone system. So now to get down to the third tenet of ShoreTel and why they say ShoreTel is, the winning phone system. So ShoreTel does have the highest customer satisfaction rating in the industry. This is proven, right? And ShoreTel's highest rating by their customers is because of ease of use, scalability, manageability, everything that we've basically talked about here in the past. Now this slide right here shows the Net Promoter Score. And Net Promoter Score is on a scale of 0 to 10. How likely are you to recommend your company, right? And middle scores are thrown out the way it works, and only the low and the high scores are kept. So this study is done on 400 responses. Cisco, Avaya, Mitel, some of the cloud companies, and ShoreTel. And as you can see, ShoreTel's NPS score is much higher than the competitors. ShoreTel's at 45. The competitors are at 36 average NPS score. So we can give you more information on this, but this just proves that ShoreTel has raving fans. Another piece of proof that ShoreTel is, what they say it is and what we say it is that Gartner rates ShoreTel as a strong positive in the marketplace for SMB market for North America. And you can, in 2014 hasn't been released yet, or that would be up here instead. As you can see, of all the leading phone systems, the only strong positives are Cisco and ShoreTel. Cisco is very complex and hard to use. I have a lot of slides on that, but I'm not bringing them into this particular conversation. So, with that said, ShoreTel's customers are raving fans because we empower the customers with a powerful, brilliantly simple solution that is easy to use, deploy, maintain, and scale, all with the lowest total cost of ownership in the industry. So, it's pretty compelling, and that's why we say that ShoreTel is the best solution for the industry, automotive, any other industry really as well. Now, I'm going to kind of change gears a little bit here, and I was just talking a little bit, I wanted to spend a few minutes on ShoreTel, and why ShoreTel is the best solution in the industry, and give you a little bit of proof around that. Now, I'm going to take a few minutes now, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some ShoreTel products. And these are ShoreTel products that some of these slides I'll go through pretty quickly. Others I may spend a few minutes on. But these are products that are included in the ShoreTel phone system. Some of them are add-ons. Most of them are used by our auto dealership clients, and I'll touch a little bit heavier on the ones that are as I go through it, like mobility and enterprise contact center. So with that said, ShoreTel has a very wide array of devices that are available for the end user. Users have the ability to use devices of choice, and this is very important in mobile type businesses like the auto industry. So I'm just going to take a few minutes and talk about the basic standard products that are included in the package of ShoreTel. And the first thing is the ShoreTel communicator. And the communicator is a desktop application that's included for all users, and it runs on PC, Mac, pretty much whatever device you'd like. This is something that you're going to use internally, and it can control your telephone and make life very easy. Um, uh, a second level of this communicator, the ShoreTel desktop product, is for the operator. So your operators get special access that allows them to be very productive. It allows them to be able to easily see whether a salesperson is in the office or out of the office, whether a service personnel is helping somebody or busy or on the phone. Easy transfers, great virtual operator capabilities. But this is something that a lot of our dealerships really utilize now. Dealerships with multiple locations are able to manage and share operators between those locations. Excuse me. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the ShoreTel Director. ShoreTel is a single image phone system with a single management tool. That single management tool is called the ShoreTel Director. It's where you add users. It's where you make changes, do everything. It's an HTML-based application, and it works very well, and it's very easy. We spend a lot of time on the Director and a demo with your IT people. So the ShoreTel Unified Communications Platform, the distributed architecture, can run in two different ways. It can run completely virtualized. If your dealership has virtual capabilities or a data center, we can put it in there. Or you could use it on ShoreGear appliances. The ShoreGear appliances have flash memory. They're modular. There's no single point of failure in the ShoreTel phone system because we take multiple appliances. You can see there's just some examples of the different appliances and capabilities. We can bring in SIP trunking, PRI trunking, analog trunking. We can support SIP handsets. SIP phones, SIP trunking, all of that nice kind of stuff. But we take your dealership's design and we create a solution that fits you. So also ShoreTel collaboration. The ShoreTel collaboration appliance is a conference appliance that if you need to do web or audio conferencing. So if you're doing web conferencing to do some kind of training between dealerships or anything like that, it's a great product. It requires no end user installation for the client. It's all HTML5 based, and it works very well. You can use Microsoft Outlook to create appointments and schedule these conferences with secure PIN codes and stuff like that. So it's a very nice product that a lot of our people use. Now I'm going to spend a little bit more time talking about the Enterprise Contact Center. The Enterprise Contact Center is ShoreTel's call center for their PBX. And the call center product we tend to find to be very beneficial, especially in multi dealerships with multiple locations and the ability to share resources. The Enterprise Contact Center in ShoreTel is a complete multi-function contact center that can enable you to bring in to properly route calls to the correct service personnel or salesperson. Take information for finance, all of that nice kind of stuff. It ties into CRMs for data dips and pops to be able to allow your salespeople, when a call comes in, to pop a client record and maybe see that customer who's calling in and information that you had gotten on them. That's how some of our dealerships use it. They also use it for the ability to, like I said, share service personnel. So they have one number that you can call into, and if you're calling for Lexus, you would go to the Lexus. It would route you to the Lexus dealership. If you were calling for Toyota, it would route you to the Toyota dealership, and it's all zero touch. Or you could have a live operator, but they use it as zero touch, so that it enables them to take people and resources and spread them out and not have to waste time with them just sitting there answering the phones. So these are all buzzwords that they talk about around contact centers and stuff like that. And dealerships see these a lot. Of course, customer satisfaction, right? You want repeat business and reputation, accessing your data. So focusing on the best clients, being able to have a person call in and maybe they're on a current lease and pop up their data and see that, hey, you know what, that person's lease is ending next month and they're calling in. Maybe I need to talk to them. Being able to personalize service, route to the right customer service representative, it improves response time and quality, which is huge in dealerships, especially in the service departments. Increase people's availability, optimize resources. You're able to give salespeople the ability to work as they're going around the lot. So, instead of sitting there and having to take a call, and this is just in general, but instead of sitting there and having to take a call and then put that call on hold and get up and walk outside and look for something in the lot to make sure it's there. They can just be on their device and take the call with them and never let that person off the phone and give them a chance to hang up. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But so the contact center is a complete end-to-end solution for being able to manage your customers' reactions and transactions. And that's basically what that is. So the next thing I'm going to talk about are the IP phones, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. I will show them all to you in a live demo if we do a live demo here. So ShoreTel IP phones, they're the latest ergonomic designs. They have good sound quality, of course. The models and types for all different kinds of users, and they're pre-configured for the ShoreTel UC system. This is an image of all the different phones that we have. I'm going to highlight a couple of them real quick. So I'll go ahead and move on. So the first one I'm going to highlight is the ShoreTel 485 series phone, but all 400 series phones have these same features and buttons except for the color screen. So they have ShoreTel put a great deal of thought and consideration in when they design these phones. They have an angular design to reduce the glare on the display, multiple line appearances, an easy to grasp handle, a booming speaker, all different kinds of nice features to make it ergonomically friendly for the end user, right? So by the way, that's all I'm going to talk about with the ShoreTel phones, except for I think I have some slides on the dock, which I'm going to talk about. But as far as the phones go, you can see here, there's many models of phones. The one on the bottom here in the first row is the one that I just showed you. But all of the ShoreTel phones are designed to be easy no matter what phone you're using. So no matter which one of these phones you're using here, they all have the quick access to the same items, whether it's it's one touch, these little buttons right here, for their static feature keys for voicemail, transfer, conference, those type of features, and they're the exact same buttons on all ShoreTel IP phones, and they're just located, and maybe this one's on the bottom right, the other one's on the top left. Are the Cisco 7900 series phones supported? So ShoreTel supports, good question, Bill. So ShoreTel supports MGCP phones from ShoreTel and SIP phones from third parties. The Cisco 7900, I believe, is a supported phone. I would have to look it up and find I believe there's a document that I can send you that actually tells you which features work and which features don't when you're using that phone. Yeah, so I will definitely do that research. I'll put a note down right now. And the 7900 series phones, we do support them. There's certain ones that may not have the same features as others, so I will send you that list. I just put down a thing for you here. Great. And with that said, yes, we support the ShoreTel handsets. We support a lot of SIP devices, whether they're Polycom, Cisco, it doesn't really matter. Some may require a certain firmware. Tim Weaver, who's one of our installation engineers, has dealt with pretty much every Cisco phone that's out there with another large client of Nortex, and he can tell me which ones of the 7900 series he actually has working currently in those deployments. So that I'll get that over to you. So the next thing I'm going to talk about here is enterprise mobility. And in car dealerships, enterprise mobility seems to me to be very big. I mean, everywhere we go that's a dealership, whether we're just doing a demo or whether it's one of our dealership clients, or whether I'm talking to ShoreTel on the phone and they're talking about other dealership clients, it seems that the ability for the sales staff or the service personnel to be able to get up and take their phones with them, which is, basically like a cordless type phone, but have the enterprise phone features of your desk phone is huge. So I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about how ShoreTel addresses that enterprise mobility, you know, solution, or what we do. So, first of all, with that, bring your own device continues to rise. I mean, I'm sure everybody on this call has a smartphone, right? And everyone on this call probably owns their own smartphone, and it probably doesn't come from the company, which is nice because that means the company doesn't have to pay and buy smartphones for all of their employees. I can also tell you that probably at least 9 out of 10 people on the call have a phone that is supported by the ShoreTel mobility application. The only phones that aren't supported right now are Windows phones. But as you can see here, 60%, these are the percentages of people who actually have their devices in their architecture. So tablets, smartphones, laptops, they're all being used currently. And just to give you a quick example of that, I don't know why this says 2012. That should be the 2013 slide, and it's 11 million units of Samsung Galaxy S5. Oh, this is an old slide. I apologize. And then the iPhone 6 actually had the largest first day, the largest sales in history of Apple for the new device. From the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. So that tells you a lot that they're just going out into the marketplace. ShoreTel Mobility does support iOS 8, which is nice. So, the record-breaking mobile adoption, it might be seen at first in just consumers with smartphones and a lot of apps, but like I said, those consumers are bringing those things into the business, and why wouldn't the dealership want to leverage their devices? So ShoreTel believes that enterprise mobility, and I believe this too, is the seamless extension of unified communications applications and infrastructure to mobile devices, enabling the same capabilities as available on PCs and desk phones from anywhere on any network, right? So what is that basically saying? That's basically saying that being able to give you the ability to take your desk phone capabilities and go anywhere you want is what we believe mobility to be, and regardless of the network you're on, whether it be 3G, 4G, company Wi-Fi, Starbucks Wi-Fi, home Wi-Fi, or cellular minutes, right? So short-term mobility, it meets, all UC deployment needs. So for IT managers, we support multiple vendors. So if you weren't a ShoreTel customer and you weren't going to go with the ShoreTel phone system, but you still wanted to use this great mobility productivity application, we integrate with a lot of other PBXs, and I'll show you that on a slide coming up. Centralized control. We can centrally control what data and what happens on those mobile phones, including the ability to turn off and turn on what they're accessing on the fly. And the nice thing about the short-term mobility is that nothing's actually stored on the personal phone. And we have dual persona, which I'll talk about here in a second. But, for the financial people, we have, way lower total cost of ownership. Our cost savings, using short-term mobility, being able to work as they walk, basically gives you a lot higher user productivity. And then the users love it because it's easy to use. It's multimodal. It has visual voicemail and supports their device, so they can actually choose their own device and bring it in. So really, short-term mobility, it has a hybrid client interface, single unified communications app for voice, instant messaging, presence, security, and it gives you consistent user experience no matter what network they're on, whether they're on Wi-Fi or at home or at the company or whatever. So what does it actually look like, and what does it actually do? This is the ShoreTel mobility client, and there are images of the mobility client on some different devices. As you can see from the left, that's an Apple device, and then we have Droids and Blackberries. To the right, that's a iPad. So from any of these types of devices, we can give extension dialing, transfer, hold, enterprise conferencing. You can change your call status, call handling modes. We can transfer and retrieve from the desk. We can simultaneous ring your desk phone and your mobile phone. You can answer on either one. You can switch between the two. Something that's very important is business dial versus personal dial. How do we control? Because as soon as you put the app on somebody's phone, the app's overriding. You're making and receiving your phone calls through your company phone system, so you're able to track it, which is one of the biggest benefits of it. But the other thing is, how do you say, all right, if the person's calling their somebody from their local contacts on their phone, it uses the personal dial and the cellular minutes. That's very easy. We can tag contacts to be personal or business. If you call that contact, it would use either your company phone system or your personal cellular minutes, right? And that's something that can be forced and overrode by at an administrative level. As I said, we give voice over IP over Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, automatic handover. So I'm sitting at my desk today, and I'm on my ShoreTel mobility client, and I'm in the company Wi-Fi, and I'm talking to somebody, and they tell me, hey, can you do me a favor and run out into the lot and see if you really have this particular vehicle with these particular options? It shows it's in the inventory, but I want to make sure before I, request it. Okay, I'll do that for you. I get up, I walk outside instead of putting them on hold, and I continue the call. I walk outside of the company Wi-Fi, and let's say that I'm on the lot and I go to the back corner of the lot where there is no Wi-Fi, it'll automatically hand it over to my 4G or my cellular minutes. When I come back into the Wi-Fi, it'll automatically hand it back to the company network. So it works very seamlessly, very easily, and that's just a quick business case of how somebody in a dealership. And by the way, I'll kind of preference that is that I've had to do that many times. I personally, in a previous life, while I was in college, paid for my college selling cars, and so I've had to do that a lot of times, and I kind of know the car business a little bit. I actually like it. But as I had said, the single device with dual persona, we have personal calls and business calls. We can use admin policies to control that and make sure that people are using, their personal minutes for making personal calls and not using their company minutes. And again, no data is actually stored on the user's device, so they can't take anything from you or with them. Now, off and to the final thing about mobility that I want to bring up. And if you have an iOS device, you can actually, in essence, completely replace your desk phone and not have a true desk phone, but always use your iOS device with the mobility client, and then you can use the ShoreTel dock as your phone. The ShoreTel dock simply plugs into power, right? And what it gives you on your iOS device is it gives you speakerphone, handset, dial pad, all those kinds of capabilities that you don't have on your device. And it also charges your device. So as soon as I plug my device into this dock, my device, I pick up the handset and I get dial tone. I hit speakerphone, I get dial tone. It basically turns into my computer. Now, as you can see on the iPad, it's right now in portrait. I can turn it and make it landscape. So you can actually, if you have somebody that uses simply just their iPad for everything and they don't actually have a PC or computer, you can give them the ShoreTel dock, mobility client, and the iPad, and that is their entire unified communication system for that user. So, just to sum it up real quick, we have location-aware presence if you're using mobility, and built-in security, and it's optimized to help with your battery. However, of course, nothing really helps that much with the battery. So that is actually my oops. Just to show you what the client looks like and that we can instant message. But that's my presentation, and if anybody has any questions, I'd like to open it up for questions right now. I know we had the question on the 7900 Cisco phone, which I will send you which 7900 models are supported. I think most of the 7900s are. Are there any other questions? And you can talk or I am like Bill had earlier.
Dennis, are there any specific applications that are in a dealership that the ShoreTel system um, integrates with?
Well, all pretty much all dealers have their own applications, but yeah, there's CRM applications. That's what when I was talking about the contact center, the CRM applications that your dealership might have, or your point of sale applications and all that kind of stuff. We definitely can integrate with Enterprise Contact Center into them. If you have standard applications or CRMs like Microsoft, Salesforce. A lot of dealerships use Salesforce to track their clients and prospects. We have native plugins that go directly into those without having an enterprise contact center.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. So yes, that's a good question. And Bill is typing up a message question right now. And also okay, let's see. In my experience, all dealerships either use Reynolds or yeah, so that is true. And I do have a lot of dealerships that are using ADP. So I believe that a large dealership with 20 locations, the one I was talking about earlier, they interface with their ADP via the Enterprise Contact Center. So there isn't a direct plugin. They use the Enterprise Contact Center to do that. And with Reynolds, we can definitely also do interfaces with the Enterprise Contact Center. So I put a note on that. So I will actually get that information for you as well, Bill. Reynold. Yep. And I'll find out what type of integration other dealerships have done currently with Reynolds. And that way, you know, you could get that information, and I can even get them as case studies or references. So with that said, also, please feel free to email any questions to Allison or our sales rep if you currently have one. And as we said, the first three people to contact the sales rep and schedule a live demo of the phone system. Our live demos, I have the ability to bring out a fully functional phone system. I'll show you the handsets. We can show you the mobility. We can show you everything that we've talked about live at your location, right? So you don't have to come to us. We'll come to you. And the first three people who register, we will bring out what are we bringing? Sorry.
A
Out-
Lenovo ThinkPad.
a Lenovo ThinkPad tablet. Let's
Correct.
just let's make sure we say tablet, right? Yeah.
Tablet.
So we're bringing the IBM tablet out for whoever gets the first three demos, and you won't regret having the demo. So we'll also show you the complete interface of software. We'll add users to the phone system, change users, whatever you want to see. So with that said, I have a couple minutes I can give back to you guys here, and Allison, you think that's good?
Yeah.
All right.
If anyone else doesn't have any more questions, that wraps it up.
And Bill, I believe Bill, you're in contact with Deb Wicker, right? So that's perfect. Yep. All right. So I'm going to stop recording this now.